This is a photo soaked in blood, 29 people, 17 Nobel laureates. It looks like a scientific feast, but it's actually a siege on Einstein. And the victim, lying in a pool of blood, is the soul of physics, called determinism. Einstein, near the center of attention, looked pale as a ghost. He had to win this debate. If he lost, physics would no longer be the truth that explains the world, and humanity would lose all control over the future. After all, before quantum mechanics came onto the scene, physics had made a promise to humanity. The world is deterministic, and cause and effect are airtight. Earlier, Newton had built this cosmic cinema, and the projectionist's name was Laplace. This demon claimed that as long as he knew the position and momentum of every particle in the universe at this very moment, he could calculate everything about the past and the future. That means the universe is a movie that was filmed a long time ago. The reason you're watching this video is that a particle collision at the dawn of the universe passed down through countless causal chains, destined you to see the great round mirror at this very second. Your salary, your love life, your fate, all were printed on the film long before the nebulae condensed. No accidents, only destiny. That's determinism, Einstein's lifelong belief. But in the corner of the cinema, a young man watched coldly. He knew Einstein was doomed. 2 years earlier, he had personally cut the cord on all of this. The young man's name was Heisenberg. In 1925, at 23 years old, he looked as haggard as a fugitive. A severe pollen allergy had swollen his face up like a pig's head, so he fled to the island of Heligoland in the North Sea. On that night of nothing but red rocks and howling winds, Heisenberg wandered, alone. Back then, the world of physics was in complete chaos. Bohr's atomic model was like a shoddy planetary system. Electrons orbiting the nucleus, but no matter how you calculated it, the model just didn't add up. Electrons would often vanish without a trace, only to reappear ghost-like in another orbit. Heisenberg stared at the pitch-black sea, where the wind howled and waves crashed against the rocks. Then a blasphemous thought hit him like a bolt of lightning. Why do we assume electrons have orbits? Have you ever seen an electron circling around? No, all we ever see is the light emitted when electrons jump. What if electrons aren't planets at all, but ghosts that can teleport? Here one moment, gone the next. There's no in-between. So Heisenberg made up his mind to wipe the concept of orbits completely out of physics. During those obsessed nights, he created a strange set of mathematical tables. He no longer drew trajectories. Instead, he calculated those cold, hard probabilities. At 3 in the morning on June 7th, he finished. Trembling, he pushed open the door to the cosmic backstage and looked at that projector called Determinism. To his horror, the machine was empty. No film, no script. He uncovered a suffocating truth, the uncertainty principle. In the microscopic world, it's impossible to know both the position and velocity of a particle at the same time. It's not just because our observation methods are clunky. For example, if you want to see where an electron is, you have to shine light on it. The photon hits the electron, sending it flying. You see its position, but its velocity gets messed up. The more fundamental reason is that a definite position and velocity existing at the same time simply don't exist in the microscopic universe. That means the all-knowing, all-powerful Laplace's demon is blind. Since he can never obtain the exact state of every particle at this moment, he can never calculate and play the next frame. The causal chain of determinism is broken. The future is no longer predetermined. It's a cloud of probabilities. This enraged the older generation of physicists. If physics can't predict the future, then what's the point of it? Did God create the world by rolling dice? And so the war erupted in full force at the Solvay conference. On one side stood Einstein, fighting alone. He had to slay the monster that was quantum mechanics and defend the reality of physics. On the other side was Bohr's Copenhagen gang, a group of young men wielding the sword of probability theory. It was a long tug of war. Rumor has it that every morning at breakfast, Einstein would throw out a carefully crafted trap, aiming to prove Heisenberg wrong. Each time, Bohr would break out in a cold sweat, unable to eat a bite. But by dinner, Bohr would always bounce back, perfectly dismantling the trap and backing Einstein into a corner. But Einstein was Einstein after all. At the 6th conference 3 years later, he unleashed his ultimate weapon, the photon box. Imagine a box filled with photons hanging from a spring scale. It has a shutter controlled by a clock. Einstein claimed that opening the shutter would release a photon. If the shutter was fast enough, we could precisely know the time the photon flew out. At the same time, with the photon gone, the box would get lighter. According to the intelligence equation, weighing how much lighter it was would let us calculate how much energy was lost. Both time and energy could be measured accurately. Heisenberg's uncertainty principle was a joke. It was a brutal move. Bohr turned ashen, stumbling around like a dying old man. He grabbed everyone and said, "If Einstein is right, physics is finished." That night, Einstein went to sleep with a winner's smile, but he forgot one thing. He forgot who he was. The next morning, Bohr walked to the podium with dark circles under his eyes and a strange smile on his face. Pointing to the diagram, he said, "Albert, you forgot your own general relativity. To weigh the box, it has to hang from the spring scale. When the photon flies out, the box gets lighter and rises. According to general relativity, a higher position means a change in gravity, which in turn changes the speed at which time passes. When you make the box move to measure energy accurately, you inevitably disrupt time. So you can never measure both time and energy precisely at the same time." How ironic Bohr had defeated Einstein using Einstein's greatest masterpiece. The audience fell completely silent, then erupted in thunderous applause. Einstein sat in the audience watching that cinema called causality come crashing down. He fell into permanent silence. Until his death, he was like an exiled king trying to rebuild that certain old world, but it was all in vain. Bohr walked over and left that mocking line for Einstein, "Stop telling God what to do." The siege on Einstein was over. We buried the predetermined future. We had to accept that macroscopic certainty is just the accumulation of microscopic randomness. The ground beneath our feet is essentially a cloud of probabilities. The coffee cup in our hands is a bunch of particles that have no idea where they'll be the next second. But is that really a bad thing? If Laplace was right, then all our efforts, struggles, loves, and hates are nothing but pre-carved scratches on film. You're not living, you're just being played. But while quantum mechanics burned the universe's script, it gave us something back from the ashes, possibility. God really does roll the dice, but precisely because of that, the curtain on the future has only just risen. The projector is empty, the screen is blank, but the script is always in your own hands.